a big breaking story. Well, Indians and Chinese troopers reportedly engaged in a face-off in North Sikkim. That's right, viewers. This information was confirmed by army sources to news agency ANI, and according to the report, aggressive behavior was exhibited by both the sides, leading to minor injuries to soldiers on both sides. According to reports coming in, at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries in the face-off. The troops reportedly disengaged after local-level interaction and dialogue, and well, the incident took place during a routine patrolling duty. That's right, viewers, a big breaking news that is coming in at this point in time. Indian and Chinese troops reportedly engaged in a face-off in North Sikkim. Well, this information was confirmed by army sources to news agency ANI, and according to the report, aggressive behavior was exhibited by both the sides, leading to minor injuries to both Indian and Chinese soldiers. According to the report, at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries in this face-off, and the troops reportedly disengaged after local-level interaction and dialogue took place. Well, the incident took place during a routine patrolling duty. Yes, viewers, a big breaking news that we're receiving at this point in time. Indian and Chinese troops reportedly engaged in a face-off in North Sikkim. This was informed by army sources to news agency ANI, and according to this report, aggressive behavior was exhibited by both the sides, which led to minor injuries to soldiers of both the Indian soldiers and Chinese. According to reports coming in, at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries in this face-off, and the troops reportedly disengaged after local-level interaction and dialogue. Well, the incident took place reportedly during a routine patrolling duty. Yes, viewers, a big breaking news that we're tracking at this point in time, as we have just learned that Indian and Chinese troopers along North Sikkim border have reportedly engaged in a face-off. This was informed by army sources to news agency ANI, and according to this report, aggressive behavior was exhibited by both the sides, which led to minor injuries to soldiers on both the sides. According to these reports coming in, at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries during the face-off. Well, the troops reportedly disengaged after local-level interaction and dialogue. Let me also tell our viewers that this incident took place during a routine patrolling duty. Indeed, a big breaking news that we're receiving at this point in time, viewers, as amidst all the coronavirus crisis and very difficult situations that the country and the world as it is facing at this point in time, there was a face-off that took place between Indian and Chinese troopers in North Sikkim. That's right, viewers, this information was confirmed by army officials who stated that soldiers on both sides sustained minor injuries during this face-off. As per these reports, at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries, and reportedly this incident took place during a routine patrolling duty by the soldiers. That's right, viewers, big breaking news that we're tracking at this point in time. Indian and Chinese soldiers engaged in a face-off in North Sikkim, according to reports that are coming in. Well, this news was confirmed by army officials to news agency ANI, who have stated that there was a minor scuffle or a face-off that ensued between Indian and Chinese soldiers, and in this face-off at least 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers sustained injuries. Let me also tell our viewers at this point that this particular face-off had taken place during a routine patrolling duty that was being conducted by the soldiers. Right, and to tell us more details on this development, I'm being joined now live from our newsroom by senior desk editor Zahir Akram. Yes, well, Zahir, definitely this comes as a big breaking news as both Indian and Chinese soldiers have suffered minor injuries during this face-off that took place in North Sikkim. So your thoughts on this, Zahir?
Well, Rana, this incident happened during a routine patrolling duty along the border that India shares with China in the Sikkim sector. So this scuffle and this kind of incidents do happen, but this incident that has been reported took place, in a more intense. It was an intense standoff that took place between both the sides, troopers of both the sides.
Right.
When you talk about the Indian side, 4 Indian soldiers got injured in the scuffle. Then when you talk about the Chinese side, that's the PLA, the People's Liberation Army of the China. That's the soldiers of PLA. 7 soldiers of the PLA got injured in the scuffle. This standoff, comes after a long time. In 2017, there was the Doklam standoff that carried on for 73 days, and after the Chinese troopers tried to undertook a construction of road near Doklam. At Doklam, that's a tri-junction border known as Donglang.
Right.
So after that incident, things smoothened out between both the sides, and this incident comes after a long time. The incident took place. Then the standoff was then finally resolved by dialogues, between both the sides. That was obviously a local level the dialogue process that took place between both the sides, and this kind of issues are being resolved through dialogue along the border, by setting up temporary border personnel meeting post, or maybe the border personnel meeting points in different sectors. There are 7 points, border personnel meeting points along the Indo-China border, from the Leh Ladakh sector till Arunachal Pradesh. So these kind of issues are being resolved in a very amicable way after a standoff does take place. Not only standoff, other issues are also being resolved, and this incident, it is just a reminder of the Doklam standoff, which carried on for 73 days, and this incident comes after a very long time, and unfortunately, this incident has come when the entire globe is trying to cope up with the coronavirus pandemic. Everybody
Right.
is fighting against it, and this incident, very unfortunate, but it did took place, and soldiers on both the sides got injured. So we'll have to. These are reports, obviously, which has been reported by the news agency ANI. The Indian Army sources did inform the ANI about this development. But however, North Islam is yet to confirm the entire development. Our Gangtok correspondent Sujal Pradhan is trying to verify the story. But as far as the reports which are coming in, according to news agency ANI, yes, a standoff took place between both the sides at the North Sikkim sector in the Sikkim, in the India-China borderline during a patrolling period. Yesterday, the incident took place yesterday, and yes, 4 Indian soldiers did sustain injuries, and 7 on the other side did sustain injuries. Ronak.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining me at this point in time, Zahir Akram, and sharing your thoughts on this development. Right, and to give us more details regarding this development, I'm being joined now over the phone by our correspondent and colleague from Gangtok in Sikkim, Sujal Pradhan. Right, well, Sujal, definitely as this breaking news comes in, which has been reported by ANI, the news agency, what kind of latest details do you have for us regarding this development? Can you confirm this news?
Yes, as per my local source in North Sikkim, I just called him, and he said that the face-off. In fact, it's not exactly a face-off also, but actually, as a regular patrolling, they have to go visit around, make a bordering area. So yesterday evening, but the troop which were in the touring the borders, they indulged in intense face-off, and even they later infiltrated each other. And as for that, the 4 Indian soldiers and 7 Chinese soldiers were injured seriously. But the matter was later solved with the local administration, all the together. The matter was solved.
Right. Sujal, definitely this comes as a big breaking news. But, during this time of crisis that the entire world is facing right now, this definitely comes as a very, unfortunate incident, obviously, as everyone is concentrating on resolving the obvious coronavirus crisis that is currently threatening the entire globe. So what kind of details do you have for us regarding that?
Yes, when I talked with the army personnel there, he said that this is not the first time it has happened there. It was happened many times, also in the past also. Regularly, whenever they go to the, they just, for a troop, they go to just take the borders, both sides came together and they indulge in face-off. But yesterday's face-off was little intense. That's why it appears as a news. Otherwise, it happens regularly, so it will not be good to connect in this movement with the coronavirus, because earlier also in Doklam time also, it was intense. That's why it was reported by national media. But this was regular incident in North Sikkim, which is regularly happening. But yesterday, the Ashton building was a little intense, and which was injured also, and they were rushed to hospitals.
Right. Sujal, a final question to you. Do we have an official confirmation regarding this face-off by army authorities, army officials in Sikkim?
Yes, since we don't have any PR officer in Sikkim, but I am trying to connect our nearest PR from Siliguri, West Bengal. I tried to call him, but he didn't receive my call. So, no official confirmation yet. So, we have to totally rely on my local source only. So, even the national media is also reporting the same, but we have to now no official confirmation from state only. But in state, we don't have the PRO in Sikkim.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Sujal Pradhan, for joining me at this point in time and sharing all those latest updates. So there we have it, viewers. Although an official confirmation from army sources to our correspondent in Sikkim is yet to be received, nonetheless, as far as news agency ANI has reported, there was a face-off in North Sikkim yesterday between troopers of the Indian Army as well as China. According to the report that has been published by news agency ANI, in this particular scuffle or face-off that took place, as many as 4 Indian soldiers and 7 soldiers from the Chinese army sustained minor injuries. However, the face-off eventually got resolved through dialogue and interaction.